here, and I would like you to go to Skyward and look at your grade. Okay, so everybody head to Skyward real quick. Okay, pull it up. I want you to specifically click on Spanish, of course, and I want you to look at it. So I'll pause for a second. Let everybody get to Skyward. All right, so I want you to actually click on Spanish specifically so you can look at your assignments for this class. And if you don't know how to do that for some reason, you can let me know and I'll help you. You literally can click on it and see all the assignments. If something is a 0, obviously you should do that. Okay, sometimes it's just you forgot, you missed it. Okay, we've got stuff on Canvas, we've got stuff on the textbook, we've got stuff all over the place. So if you miss something, that's the whole point of this. Go back and fill it in. Okay, I get it. For some of you, this year's been fine. And for some of you, it's been super stressful. Maybe you've been sick. Maybe your family member's been sick. Maybe your Wi-Fi is terrible. Okay, everybody's in different places. That's why we are doing this. Okay, the goal is to give you yet again one more opportunity to get your grade up. So take advantage of it. All right, if you did something but the grade is really low, you can redo it. All right. Quizzes I'm not really redoing necessarily. If there's a specific problem on a quiz, you can reach out to me. Or if you never took a quiz, then for sure reach out to me and I will let you take it. So, you know, the whole point of the midterm is, hey, this is how it's going. If you like it, you keep doing what you're doing. If you don't like it, you make some adjustments. Okay, some of you are doing great. Some of you are doing okay. Some of you have brought your grades up a lot. So keep it up. And then if your grade is not at what you'd like, or it's been slipping, then you turn it around. Okay, get your missing work in. Now, the opportunity to improve yourself is totally open because we are starting a whole new thing today, right? We are reading a book for the next 3 weeks in class mostly. So that's why it is super important that you're here, either physically or on Zoom. And if you're on Zoom, I want your camera on. I want you to be present. Okay, not just be present, but be present mentally. Okay, again, I'm going to try and do most of this with you. My goal is for this not to be homework unless you don't get things done in class or you're not here or you're not paying attention. I want you to just kind of keep that in mind as you're thinking about your grade and where you want it to go from here. Okay, really, we got 3 weeks of class. We got a week where we'll work on some speaking finals. That'll be done before the final. And then we got a final exam, which I'm sure you've heard by now can only help you. Okay, so there's a lot of potential for you to make things better. And that's what we want. All right, we always want you to do well. But in this case, like, I get it. Things have been challenging for some of you, and we really want to give you some extra support and extra ability to do well. Yeah. Don't know yet. Haven't made it. The speaking will not be part of the final. The speaking will be your last grade so that everyone will do that. Then from there, the rest of it will be the no fault part. Okay, yeah, Derek.
So you have to take the final, but it doesn't negatively affect our grade.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So we can't like use it as
If you have a special situation, you can message me. I mean, for the most part, I think quizzes are done. If it's this most recent quiz, we can talk about that. Otherwise, I mean, I'm probably not going to go back and like reopen up all my quizzes. But if you have a special situation, just message me and we can see if we can figure something out. Okay. Any other questions for the good of the group on grades? Okay, so again, I want you to do well. I want you to get those zeros filled in. I want you to pass this class. I want you to get a better grade than what you have right now if it's in the low range. So take advantage. Got a month. Then you got summer, nothing to do, and then we'll start afresh next year, hopefully without all of these things. Okay. All right, Leah, is that a question for me?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure I got this right. You said you're not like giving us assignments to do, we're just doing stuff so what if you don't have anything that's bad?
Well, then your grade's probably fine, right?
No, like all my assignments are good, it's just my quizzes.
Okay, Well, I mean, again, the point here is like this credit recovery. So like, it's really meant for people that have been struggling to get their work done for whatever reason. Again, like I told Alex, if you got a special case or there's one thing that you just really didn't do well on that you want to talk to me about, we can look at that. But otherwise, I mean, the point really is if you've been doing what you should be doing and you're doing well and things are going well and, you know, you haven't had any of these obstacles like being sick or not having Wi-Fi or whatever, then you're probably fine. You know what I mean? What I would say is if you're just doing fine and there's not a lot for you to work on, but you still want to get your grade up, like I said, this book, all in class, you're going to have some questions to answer. I'll talk about all this in a minute. Keep on top of this and it'll be a nice chunk of points. That's not, there will be a quiz at the end, but you know, it's not like a Spanish quiz. It's more of like, did you pay attention and understand the book quiz? You know what I mean? So just go into it with that mentality and there should be enough points to get your grade up. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so we're gonna talk about this book. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna kind of go over it with everybody. If you are in class, you are gonna have an in-class book that you can keep in class and use. If you are at home, there's an online version. When you are not here, you obviously have access to the online version as well. But I thought it would be nice if you're here to like, I feel like it's just easier to have it in your hand than to read it. Well, you're about to find out. So here's what I want you to do. If you are here, you have picked up a little packet, right? Everybody look at your little packet right now. If you are at home, you've got the packet, go to your current lesson. And we're going to kind of talk through this together. So I'm just on your current lesson. I want you to look at this, number 1, okay? La Momia outline and question. So I want you to click on that. You don't need to print it. I just want you to look at it. I mean, you can print it, you can print it later, but I just want you to open it and look at it, okay? So a couple things before we start this. I want you to think back to the book that you did first semester with us. Some people did awesome. Some people didn't do it and their grade tanked, like D and F. And I had so many people like stressing out and coming to me and saying, oh my gosh, I can't, it's hard to do a book when you're at home, but that's just what it is. You got to stay with me. You got to do the work. Okay. You got to stay on top of it. And then, like I said, most of it we're doing together. So it should not be a big burden for you. This one's in Spanish. First one was in English. Now it's very short. The chapters are very short. It's written in very simple Spanish for your level. But again, I'm giving you this big pep talk because I don't want you to come in here tomorrow already behind. All right. You got to do each little bit with me. Okay. So as we start out today together, make sure you're with me. All right, so let's look at, here, I guess we'll turn the light on here. Let's look at this overview of things. And let me kind of hit the highlights with you, okay? I guess I don't really need this on. I will go ahead and I guess here, I'll share. If you didn't pull it up yet, I'll pull it up for you. Let me just let it. Come on. All right, you know what I'm gonna do. Oh, there we go. Give me 1 second, Zoom friends, I'll reshare that. Okay, Zoom friends, I assume you can see that. If you didn't pull it up on your own, you can look at my screen. Otherwise, you can just look at it with me, whatever. Okay, so here's the overview. Now, let me tell you what this means. So first of all, the book that we're reading is called La Momia Desaparece. So I don't know if you can tell from the picture here, but what is La Momia? Oh, you know what I should do is give these to you guys. Hold on. If you're in class, I'm gonna have you, you have a certain number and I'll show you where you're gonna keep this. This is not gonna go home with you. I'll show you where you're gonna keep it. Brian, come on up and get this one. Malia, are you gonna come back into school? Are you?
My mom switched me back over to virtual. I don't know if you got that.
I didn't, but so you're not coming in at all?
Mhm.
Okay. So Derek, I'm gonna have you, you're gonna be numero tres. So take note of what number you are, or maybe put the number on your packet if you're gonna forget. And I know, Raven, come on up, grab 5. You're gonna be 5. Ellie, you can come up next, and then Alex. So maybe, like I said, just write down the number so you have that somewhere. That is your responsibility book. But again, you're not going to take it home. But then I figure if you each have your own, nobody else will touch it besides you. So it's kind of COVID friendly. Okay, so Now it's easier to talk about. Okay, so if you're looking at the top of this, there's what the book looks like for my Zoom friends. La Momia, can you tell what it is from a picture? The mummy, and what has happened to it? Desaparece, it has disappeared. Great. All right, so this is about a disappearing mummy. It's a little bit of a mystery, a light mystery. So here's the deal, okay? You can see the 3-week overview. Basically, we're going to read the chapters mostly together. Where it says homework, that should only be homework if you don't get it done in class. So honestly, where it says like today, we're going to do 1 and 2 together. You should not have homework tonight, okay? If you don't finish up the questions, you can finish those up for homework. But I think most of it should be done in class. So like then on Wednesday, you'll see we're going to discuss 2. Discute means discuss. And then homework will be 3 and 4. But again, we'll do 3 for sure together, possibly 4. So your homework will only be to make sure all the questions are done, which again, we'll probably do together. So you can kind of see the flow there. We'll finish the first 7 chapters this week, and you will have to turn in questions for those. Then the second week, you can see again, kind of just what chapters we're going to cover. If you're looking at the book at all, if you have it in front of you, I know you haven't yet. The chapters are like 2 pages, 3 pages. They're pretty short. And then obviously at the end, you will have an exam. Okay. That has nothing to do with your final. That's just an exam over the book. All right. If you look at the bottom here, it says, hay preguntas de cada capítulo. This is what I'm talking about. There are questions for each chapter, and you have to answer them. Okay. Kind of like first semester. And we'll again start that together today. And then it says, durante las clases vamos a discutir los capítulos. We'll talk about the chapters. Tomar pruebitas. What are pruebitas? Hard word to say. There will be little quizzes. Okay. And then we'll hacer actividades y leer la tarea. Okay. So that's kind of what we'll do in class each day. All right, so if you want to go ahead and look at the second page, if you have your packet, you will see mostly this packet is questions, okay? So the biggest difference between these questions and the ones you did with the first book is it does say responde en español con frases completas. So what does that mean? Right, so I need Spanish complete sentences. Okay? I am not grading you on your grammar. Okay? That is not a concern of mine here. As long as your grammar is decent enough that I can understand your answer, it's fine. Okay, no Google translating. You're literally saying, so like the first question says, describe al Pepino Gonzalez. What do I want you to do for number 1? You're going to describe this guy. He's one of the main characters. So you're going to say Pepino S, and then you can take the text right out of the story. So you're not, you're going to keep it real simple. You can write the sentence right out of the book. Okay, but it should be a sentence and it should be in Spanish. So like I said, they're done by chapter. Basically, we get through chapter 7 this week. So if you look ahead, that's the first 2 pages of questions will be due. I'll probably have them due next Monday. So if you need the weekend for whatever reason, if you miss a day or whatever to catch up. So it's the first 17 questions, and then we'll do the second part. The last page is a little glossary. That is as we read for you to fill in. If there's a Spanish word that you don't want to have to look up again, or it's a Spanish word that we discussed together that you don't want to have to look up again, or if it's a word that you've bothered to look up, write it down, and then you won't have to look it up again. Okay? So that's why that last page is your own glossary, just to make your life a little bit easier. Okay? So that's the gist of it. I don't know. Let's see. What else do I want to tell you? I need to tell you where to find the text. So let me get out of here for a second. Let me stop sharing. So I'm going back to your current lesson. And everybody can look at this because even you guys, you're not taking that book home. All right. So if you need the text in the evening, here's how you're going to find it. Okay. Everybody look. It says online copy of book located under class resources, which can be found on my class homepage. I'm going to show everybody how to find that right now. Okay, so you know where the online version is. So obviously, if you're at home, this is your version. You're going to pull it up and you're going to read it with us as we start reading today. All right. And then I'll just point out here before I leave this page, the homework tonight, like I said, is questions 1 and 2. If you are here, I would just fill them in on this. You can later take a picture of this. If you're at home, you can decide if you have a printer and you want to print out those questions, you can. If you want to answer them just on a notebook piece of paper, if you want to answer them on a Google Doc, start a Google Doc, however you want to do it is fine. Okay, ultimately, you're going to turn them in right here. But again, I won't have you turn them in until next Monday. I guess you could just answer them here. I mean, I don't know. Here are the questions. So it's up to you, however you want to do it. Okay, so decide how you want to do it. And then you can keep track of them in a minute. All right, so let me show you everybody. Everybody look, so there's no confusion. Hey, here's my homepage. Everybody see my homepage? Here's class resources. If you've never used it, you should, because I always dump any grammar notes and stuff on there. So right here, I'm highlighting it right now. If you're at home, make sure you're looking. Okay, right here, class resources. You're going to click on that. And then you're going to see it right at the top, La Momia Desaparece Complete PDF. All right, so this is the online version. I want everybody to click on, especially at home, and make sure you see it because we're going to start reading together here momentarily. Okay, so you'll see there's the little mummy. And then make sure, like, here's where we'll start. This is page 1, La Siesta de Pepino is where we'll start here in a minute. So, everybody with me. Zoom friends. Everybody see where the book is. You do not want to start reading, or we do not want to start reading if you are not following along at home. All right, I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see everybody again. All right, Zoom friends, I have almost everybody with their camera on. I don't know anything about an audiobook, Malia. If you want to do some research and let us know, you can. I'm going to read you the first chapter today, so you don't need, I'll be your audiobook. And then we'll kind of popcorn some days. I'll put you with a small group some days. I'll give you a partner some days. Some days I'll give you a choice if you'd rather read it on your own, or you can partner up with somebody. So there'll be options on reading. Okay, but today I'm going to start out reading chapter 1 to you right now. Okay, anybody have questions before we start? All right, are you going to understand every word?
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay.
If you don't, you're not.
You are fired. No. Okay, so here's a couple helpful things. All right, so everybody's looking at page 1 now. Go ahead and find page 1, and I want to start until everybody's there. Okay, if you're on Zoom, you're finding page 1. All right, couple things to note. First of all, do you see out to the right-hand side, there's some vocab for you. Everybody see that? So as you're reading, they try to give you some vocab words to help you. In-person people, I don't think it's online, to my knowledge. But in-person people, there's a little glossary at the back that is somewhat helpful because, again, it is words specifically related to this story. And if you're at home and you don't have that, obviously, good old Google Translate is always there for you. If you need to look up a word, please do so. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading. I want you to read, not read, I want you to listen. I want you to follow along. I want you to see if you can pick out the main ideas. You'll notice if you look, you got basically 1 page, picture, page. First chapter is actually probably one of the longest ones. 2 pages, it's about 2.5 pages. 1, 2, no, it's about 3 pages. That's probably one of the longer chapters. So I will kind of read along, and I don't know, I might do like, I might stop and then kind of we'll go back and forth to the questions. How about that? So I'll kind of stop after number 1, and then we'll see if we can fill it in. Obviously, participation points are important here. You can get participation points by reading, not right this second, but by reading or by answering questions. And why don't you go ahead and look at question number 1, so you kind of know what to look for. Okay, they pretty much go in order. So everybody look at question 1. I already kind of said it. Question 1 says what? What are we describing? Pepino Gonzalez. All right. So think about what you learn about Pepino Gonzalez as I read this first page. All right. Okay, here I go. La siesta de Pepino. What's Pepino doing? Taking a nap. His siesta. All right. Era la hora de la siesta en todo México y Pepino, sentado en su pequeño despacho, quería dormir. Puso los pies sobre el escritorio, y cerró los ojos. A Pepino le gustaba solo una cosa más que dormir, y esa era no trabajar. Medio dormido ya, pensaba con una sonrisa que esta sería una tarde tranquila, aunque la placa sobre la entrada anunciaba investigaciones privadas. Pepino González. Ninguno problema es demasiado difícil para nosotros. Pepino sabía que el mes de mayo era la temporada en que menos turistas visitan la Ciudad de México, resultando en menos clientes para sus investigaciones privadas. Sabía también que el mes de mayo era el mejor tiempo para enamorar a muchachas bonitas bajo los cielos románticos de México. Y soñando en todas las bellas mujeres que un día esperaba encontrar, abrió los ojos para mirarse en el espejo detrás del escritorio. Sí, dijo, yo soy muy guapo. Soy bastante joven, soy alto y moreno. Hasta me estoy dejando crecer unos hermosos bigotes. Soy irresistible. En realidad, Pepino tenía 35 años, era delgado con muy poco pelo y unos bigotes diminutos. Aunque a veces era demasiado vanidoso y soñador, todo el mundo afirmó que Pepino era un hombre simpático. Sí, repitió, todavía mirándose en el espejo. Soy irresistible y todas las chicas se van a desmayar cuando vean lo guapo que soy. Okay, pausing for a minute. So, take a second, see if you can answer question number 1, and then we'll share. Okay, question is, you are describing Pepino, who I have been describing for the last few minutes of my reading. So, again, you can write it by hand if you got the packet in class. You can write it online, you decide. You can look for it either under the current lesson, right? Under that, you can download it from the current lesson, or you can do it area of the current lesson. So however you want to keep track of it, or you can just do it on, or you can do it on a Google Doc, whatever. Okay, what is this dude like? No worries, Claire, I figured. So we're trying to answer question number 1. So everybody's finding a place to jot it down. And again, if you need the questions are in your current lesson, either under number 1, or you can look at them under your homework, under your tarea, questions 1 through 7, or chapters 1 through 7. All right, I will be looking for several volunteers here to try and give us some information about good old Pepino. Now, again, let me remind you, you're supposed to be writing in Spanish and in a simple sentence. If you copy your sentence right out of the book, that's fine. If you want to shorten it and just abbreviate it and make it real simple, Pepino S blank, that's also fine. All right, you ready to share? Let's start off. First participation point of the book. What you got? Tell me about good old Pepino. Pressure, pressure. Derek's gonna start. Thanks, Derek. What you got?
He's slow.
Okay, so in Spanish, you said S. Did you use the word in Spanish?
Delgado.
S delgado.
With like,
You can just say in Spanish. With
oh,
the same thing.
delgado como muy poco pelo,
Uh-huh.
y unos pelos bigotes.
Uh-huh,
in-
Uh-huh. yeah,
Yeah, I also put bigotes.
yeah. Okay, so he's at the bottom of page 1. Is kind of where that quote came from, right? It says, es delgado, con poco pelo. What's poco pelo? Kind of bald, got a little hair, right? What's a bigote? Got a little mustache there. And the next page, vanidoso, he's very what? Vain. Yeah. I had all that. You could add his age if you want, right? Tenia or
I feel like there's something on the plan.
Malia, got more to add?
Yeah, it was kind of hard to hear, so I don't know if he said this one or not, but I don't even know if this one is right. It seems right, but a pepino le gustaba.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. I lost you there. Sorry, Malia. I might have, sorry, unmute yourself real quick. I might have accidentally done that. I was trying to get rid of some background noise. Oh, no, I can't hear her. No, that wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Can you hear me now?
Here we go. Yes, go again. Sorry.
I don't even know. It was hard to hear, so I don't know if he said this one or not. But a pepino le gustaba solo una cosa, más que dormir y esta era no trabajar.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good one. That's right at the top of the page, right? So that was right at the top. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down, right? What does he really like to do? Le gustaba dormir. What's dormir? Sleep y no trabajar. And not work, right? So either of those are fine, both of those are fine. You can add what you have to that. That's why we're sharing. You can add on to it. So we know he likes to sleep. He doesn't like to work. He's skinny. He doesn't have much hair. He's vain because he thinks he's pretty good looking, right? And I just had one more thing. Anybody catch his job? This is kind of important. What's he do? Ellie? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like right at the top, after the first paragraph, investigaciones privadas. So he's a private investigator, right? So you can see how perhaps that will lead into the disappeared mummy, right? So that's his job. All right, so we got that? We got most of that? Some of that? All of that? All right, well, let us continue then. So go back to page 3. You can look at the picture on page 2. If you'd like to see what he looks like. Sure, that was just number 1. We've just covered number 1. So take a look at question number 2. Now we want to know who this Paco is. All right, so keep an eye out for Paco Panzon. I'm about to describe him now. Okay, so I'm at the top of page 3. I'll probably read kind of page 3. And then I'll take another break and we can fill out some stuff. All right. En este momento se oyó un gran disturbio en la sala de recepción. La puerta se abrió de un golpe. Entró Panzón, el ayudante fiel y gordito de Pepino. Panzón estaba muy agitado. Jefe, gritó. Venga pronto. Se ha desmayado una cliente en la sala de recepción. Pepino le miró con sorpresa. Confundió las palabras de su ayudante con sus pensamientos de las bellas muchachas. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo es posible? Si aún no me han visto. Panzón se rascó la nariz, como de costumbre. No entendía nada de lo que decía Pepino. ¿De qué habla, jefe? Se trata de una señora de Nueva York y antes de, actually, no, I'm gonna stop there because that's really, you can start with number 2 there. So let's take a minute and describe Paco Panzón. So really in those couple of paragraphs, you should be able to get a little information about this Paco Panzón. Who is he or what's he like? He's a dude. Maybe a little more. Were you gonna answer, Ellie? All right, give it 1 second. Everybody's jotting down what you think about who Paco is, what's his role, what's he like? I do love this computer. They are pretty delish.
I didn't mean to think about Jesus, but
All right, but now we're all thinking about Jesus.
yeah, and little full and interested in whole Jesus.
Not as good.
I mean, you cannot pay attention to it, but there's
They're free cheeses, they're free cheeses.
Pretty cheap, it's a pretty cheap.
All right, Ellie, what we learned? What we got about Paco here? Okay, es el ayudante fiel y gordito. And again, if you look off to the side, it says he is the faithful assistant, and he's a little bit of a big guy. And you'll see he likes to eat. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, did I have anything else? Yeah, we'll get to her in a minute. That's why I stopped.
Really,
I don't know. Anybody have anything else?
I don't see where we're at anymore. I lost it.
Okay, so I'm just at the top of page 3. Yeah? Where it says, no, I'm just saying, like, where we just got that information about Panzón, where it says en ese momento. Do you see that? Yes? Like, yeah, the second paragraph where it says he is a faithful assistant, helper.
I have no idea. I do not see that at all.
Okay,
Wait, in ese momento,
yeah, You
is
see
it
that
said
paragraph?
un gran disturbio?
uh-huh. So finish that sentence and like 3 sentences later, it says entro Panzón. It's like that paragraph, it's the third sentence. See where it says entro Panzón, el ayudante fiel?
Where? I have no idea where that's at.
Okay, well, you see the paragraph that says en ese momento, right?
Yeah.
Se oyó un gran disturbio, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see the periods after recepción,
Mm-hmm.
and then it says la puerta, the door opened. You see that sentence?
Mm-hmm.
And then it says entro Panzón,
Okay.
okay? And that's where it describes him. So it says he's entering, and then it describes him. El ayudante fiel, he's the faithful assistant,
Okay.
okay? All right, so we got the private investigator, the faithful assistant. We good? All right, take a look at question number 3. It says, ¿Cómo es el turista? What do we want to know? What's the tourist like, and cuál es su problema? What's her problem? All right, so I'm gonna start from antes. I think that's where I left off. So here's where we meet the señora. This is the turista. Okay, so I'm about halfway through page 3. Everybody see where I am? Antes de que Panzón pudiera explicar, entró la señora de Nueva York. La señora de Nueva York era muy grande, se podía decir que era enorme, era más alta que Pepino y más ancha que Panzón. Llevaba un vestido floreado, un sombrero de paja cubierto con varios pájaros y frutas artificiales, una cámara y una bolsa tan grande que casi podía servir como maleta. Su cara estaba rojísima. La señora de Nueva York respira con dificultad. Estaba muy agitada. Entre las muchas guías de turismo encontró un diccionario inglés-español. La señora buscó rápidamente por las páginas del diccionario. Era evidente que su conocimiento de la lengua española era algo limitado. Finalmente habló. Oh my, me llamo Mildred Smith. Me han robado las perlas del cuarto de Hotel del Río. Ustedes tienen que ayudarme a encontrarlas pronto, please. Y Pepino y Panzón se rascaron la nariz. Ni el uno ni el otro entendió muy bien lo que decía la señora, tan extrañamente vestida. Pepino trató de calmarla. All right, I think we can stop there for a minute. And I've now gone over question 3. So give you a second here to go back and see if you can fill in question 3. Tell me about this lady and what's her problem. Give you a second to jot down number 3. Again, there is no reason you shouldn't have these down. Okay, I am going over all of it with you. And you are going to turn this in next Monday, so make sure you're taking good notes.
No,
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but it is worth 20 points, so I recommend it.
I can't deal with that.
All right, give you a second here. If you have not participated yet, I would love for you to be ready to answer number 3 and get yourself a point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, anybody about ready to tell me something about this lady? What's she like? Who is she, I guess? What's her problem?
You can answer that.
All right, what do we know? How about Zoom friends? What do we know about this lady? What's she like? What's she like? What'd you start with? All right, Alex is gonna start. Go ahead, Alex. Yeah, so muy agitada, you know what that means? Very agitated. All right, that's kind of in the middle of the paragraph. So all these answers start in that second, that big paragraph on the second half of page 3, where it says antes de panzón. All right, so about halfway through, she's very agitated currently. Good. What else how else can we describe her? What does she look like? She looks lovely in that picture. What we got? Somebody hasn't gone yet. Give me a little more. She is agitated. Es muy agitada. Where's she from? What's she look like? Help me out. Help me out. Where's she from? Where's she from? I need somebody new. Thank you to my hands here, but I got to spread out the love. Where's she from? Jackie, where's she from?
From New York.
Yeah, es de Nueva York. Put that on there. What's she like? Tall? Is she beautiful? Is she skinny? Is she not so beautiful? Is she big? Is she small? Brian. Es enorme is how she is described. She's what? What's enorme? Yeah, she's huge. She doesn't look that big in the picture, to be fair, but. All right, so what's her problem? ¿Cuál es el problema? Kind of the bottom of page 3. What's her problem? What's her problem? Gustavo, can you tell what her problem is?
What's the question?
What's her problem? What's this lady's problem?
Uh,
If you don't have it, Chris has got it. He can help you out. I'll come back to you. Or pass it to
Yeah.
Chris. All right, Chris, help us. What'd you say? You got it.
alguien lo robó.
Uh-huh. So he said alguien lo robó, right? She has been robbed. Bottom of page 3. Says, oh me, oh my. Me llamo Mildred Smith, if you want to know who she is. Her name's Mrs. Smith. Me han robado las perlas. Let's be specific. What was stolen? Her pearls. All right, once you got that down, you're done with your questions for this chapter, so you just need to listen so you figure out what happens with the pearls. All right, so that'll be my follow-up question. See if you can figure out what happened here. All right, so, oh no, maybe that's the next, no, just kidding, that actually comes out in chapter. What's the next chapter? Yeah, that is the next chapter. So just kind of listen along here. Go to page 4, if you're not on page 4. I'm gonna start at the top of page 4. All right, so Pepino's trying to calm her down. It says, trato de calmarlo. Señora Smith, ¿por qué no se acomoda aquí en esta silla? Mi ayudante le hará una taza de té y usted nos podrá explicar todos los detalles de su tragedia. La señora Smith se sentó en la silla que estaba al lado del escritorio de Pepino. La señora Smith era muy grande y la silla muy pequeña. Panzón cerró los ojos, estaba seguro de que la silla se iba a romper y que la señora estaría en el piso de la oficina. Pero de milagro y no pasó nada. Mientras la señora se tranquilizaba, Pepino buscó en el cajoncito del escritorio. En este cajoncito guardaba todos sus útiles de investigación más importantes: un cuaderno, unos lápices, una lupa y una pipa. A Pepino no le gustaba fumar, pero siempre pensaba que tendría un aspecto más auténtico con una pipa, pues Sherlock Holmes, el gran héroe de Pepino, nunca estaba sin su pipa. Ahora, señora, dijo Pepino, cuéntanos todo lo que pasó. Here's what happened. Pay attention. Vengo de Nueva York, contestó la señora, mirando siempre en el diccionario. Hace 4 días que llegué a México. Después iré a Acapulco, luego a Guadalajara, luego a Oaxaca, luego a Tasco, luego a Veracruz, luego... Sí, sí, señor. Interrumpió Pepino, algo exasperado. Pero usted hablaba de unas perlas que le fueron robadas. Ah, sí, estoy acostumbrada a guardar mis perlas dentro de mi bolsita. Los ojos de Panzón se abrieron. Jamás había visto una bolsa tan enorme. Pero ayer, continuó la señora Smith, pensé que sería mejor esconderlas en una maleta que estaba en el armario de mi cuarto de hotel. Ahí nadie podría encontrarla. Pepino escribía rápidamente en su cuaderno. Luego levantó la cabeza. Hey, last little part here. Pues siga con su historia, señora Smith, le dijo. Bueno, dijo la turista, esta mañana al levantarme fui a ver si todavía estaban en la maleta, pero no estaban ahí. Habían desaparecido. Al recordar esto, la señora Smith se puso muy triste otra vez. Jefe, dijo Panzón, tengo una idea. No me interrumpas, contestó Pepino. Quiero pensar. Este es un asunto muy complicado. Primero, las perlas de la señora Smith estaban en la maleta, en el armario, y ahora no están. ¿Qué haría Sherlock Holmes en una situación semejante? Pues no sé lo que haría el señor Holmes, dijo Panzón, pero yo creo que... Caramba, Panzón. Pepino le regañó. Déjame pensar, sin más interrupciones. All right, so that's in chapter 1. So who does Pepino like to think he is? Sherlock Holmes. He's trying to figure out this mystery. I mean, really, we don't know much. The pearls are missing. Where does she think they're supposed to be? What's a bolso or bolsita? Or what's a bolso? Her purse, her bag. But they're not there. And then she thought she put them in la maleta. What's la maleta? Her suitcase, and they're not there either. So, oh geez. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start chapter 2. Okay, for our last few minutes here, and I want you to look at your questions for chapter 2, because these I'm gonna ask you to finish up tonight. Okay, so let's see if we can get done some of this together. We should at least be able to get a little bit done. Now, if you look, chapter 2 is much shorter. So it's just a page, like almost 2 pages, about 2 pages. All right, so here's what I would like to do. I would like to do a little popcorn reading here so that I can rest my voice for a moment. So would somebody like to volunteer to do a little? I don't know. You can do what you want. You do the first paragraph, you do a little more than that. Whenever you get tired, we'll just pop it around to somebody else. Somebody want to start with más trabajo para Pepino, more work for Pepino. Alex is going to start for us. Thank you, Alex. So top of page 6 is where we're going. All right, and you are looking for ¿Dónde encontró las perlas? What's the question number 4 mean? What's it mean? I'm asking what question 4 means, so you can kind of be listening. Yeah, where did she find the pearls? So we know they're going to get found here. All right, Alex, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Brillaban. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's done. So she read that first paragraph. So he's about to announce that the voz importante. Who wants to take it from there? All right, Derek. I forgot to say, I guess try and read as loud as you can, just so they can hear you as much as possible.
Yo sé dónde están las perlas de la señora Smith. ¿Qué dijeron Pepino y la señora Alavés?
Ajá.
Sí, contesta Panzón. Panzón era un hombre práctico, de pocas palabras. Cuando más complicada leía alguna cosa, Pepino más simple la leía Panzón. Panzón era realista, mientras que Pepino siempre estaba con la cabeza en las nubes. Les apuesto, continuó Panzón, que encontraremos
Ajá.
las perlas dentro de la bolsa de la señora Smith. Al oír esto la señora abrió su bolsita. Ahí estaban las perlas.
Ahí estaban las perlas. So, número 4, ¿dónde encuentro sus perlas? Write down your answer. Where are we at? That's number 4. Oh, Anna, I just saw your message. Yeah, it's under the homepage, under class resources. You can find the whole book there. All right, so where is it? Sorry you missed that. That would make things easier. If you come in, I'll give you a hard copy to look at too, but when you're at home, you can always look at it there. All right, so where are they? Where are they? Malia's got it. Where are they, Malia?
Is it Yo sé dónde están las perlas?
Yes, yes, that says like, that's where, yeah, that means I know where they are, but then we gotta read, I don't know where that is exactly. We gotta go a little farther to tell me where they are. Where are they, Raven? Let me see, wait, las perlas están en la maleta. You're close, I don't think they are in the maleta. They're not in her suitcase. You're on the right track, Brian. En la bolsita. All right, so let me show you where it is. All right. So basically it's that line that starts out with al oír esto, with hearing this, la señora abrió su bolsita. She opened up her purse y ahí están las perlas. So it's a little confusing. I'll explain it here in a minute. But she thought she had put them in her suitcase, but really they were just in her bag where they were supposed to be. Wah, wah. All right, so I think I'm gonna stop there. So here's what you have to do, okay? So like I said, each day we'll try our best to get through our 2 chapters. Obviously, we were talking about a lot of the background stuff today. So you are gonna have to finish this up just a little bit on your own. So literally you have a page and a half basically to read, okay? I want you to finish chapter 2, and then I want you to finish questions 5 and 6. All right, so you have 2 things to do tonight. Shouldn't take you too long, but you gotta stay on top of it. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna say goodbye to my Zoom friends, and then I'm gonna show you guys where you're gonna put your book, because you're not gonna take it with you, but I'm not gonna touch it, so nobody will touch it. All right, so Zoom friends, finish up chapter 2 and those 2 questions, and I'll see you tomorrow. Are you guys, okay, I cleared off this little round, and I'm just gonna leave it right here. And then you can just stick your book in here on your way out or right now, and then it'll just be there waiting for you. No one will touch it but you. Okay, so you gotta remember your number, and then that is yours. Okay, nobody has to share it, you just remember your number. Does that make sense? All right, I'll probably put this over there, I might bring it back over here if I remember. So, it works, right?
I think.
It does. Well, there's only 5 of you today, so stick it in there. And then obviously you have to finish those last 2 pages online. Okay, everybody saw where that was under class resources? Good.
Yes.
It's not hard to get. Well, I mean, yeah, at this point,
I have